Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a very special second edition of this week's news conference. As you can see, we have changed the location to accommodate today's big announcement by the Erie Metropolitan Transit Authority, the City of Erie, and the Erie Police Athletic League. Today's announcement will move Erie's cop-kid relationships forward. Erie Police Athletic League is making a huge impact on transforming the relationship between the police and the minority youth right here in Erie. In the last 3 years, PAL has grown from about 8 officers working with one school, 1 day a week, to a crew of 68 police officers engaged in after-school programs in 6 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and several of our community centers. Over 600 youth in our community have been actively involved in the Erie Police Athletic League. Children are tutored, mentored, and interact with officers in a positive environment. Officers and children are getting to know each other as people and building trust, friendship, and memories that will last a lifetime. I witnessed the incredible bonds being formed on 2 occasions back in December of last year when Sergeant Lennox invited me to participate in delivering holiday presents to children that participate in Erie's Police Athletic League program. The children were so excited to see the officers that they could not stop themselves from running to greet each officer there with a hug, and there were 5 of them. Of course, everyone was wearing masks, but it warmed my heart to see the great relationships that have developed. These relationships will improve community police partnerships and improve the diversity of our police force because some minorities will want to now become police officers. Our police force will more closely resemble the community that they serve, which, as you all know, is one of my primary goals. Sergeant Tom Lennox has led the Police Athletic League since its inception. Last summer, the police department received a 2-year grant to cover Tom Lennox's salary and benefits so he can work full-time on building PAL and as well as police recruitment. Sergeant Tom Lennox leads this amazing, dedicated crew of police officers and has made great progress over the last 8 months. Thank you, Tom, for what you're doing. The Erie Police Athletic League chapter is being used as a blueprint for police in other cities on how to successfully establish a PAL program. Our Police Athletic League is unique in 3 ways. First, we have more officer participation in PAL than most other chapters do. Second, we are the only chapter in the nation in which the county sheriff's department and municipal police department have combined in 1 chapter. Third, we are the first and only chapter that has conducted a summer camp at a college or a university. I am thrilled today to present 8 individuals with commendations for special service to the police athletic program. We will get to that in just a minute, but right now, we're in a moment we've all been waiting for. Please direct your attention to the area right over here for a minute. It's a little loud. So now I'd like to invite Tom Lennox and the incredible team up here. There's a spot for all of you marked on the floor. If you could all come up and take your spots, we will move to the next point in the program. There's actually going to be 10 commendations that I'll be presenting today. I don't know if Perry Wood or Rondi Nicole, I haven't.
Ron's running late. He's got
Okay, all right, I guess they're running a little late, so we'll get started. So now I'm going to present 10 commendations in recognition of service to the police league. And whereas, this is the commendation, it's the same for everyone, so I'm just going to read it once. But whereas the City of Erie commends all of you and other residents and community leaders for taking an active role in partnering with the Erie Police Athletic League and providing support to Erie's youth in a way that far exceeds normal expectations. Whereas the power and promise of the cop-kid relationship being built in our community through the Erie Police Athletic League is truly incredible. Whereas officers from the Erie Police Department and the Erie County Sheriff's Office coach, mentor, and interact with students, fostering opportunities for them to learn and to grow after school, on weekends, and during the summer. Whereas in the last year, as a result of the Erie PAL program, more than 600 of Erie's youth have benefited from building a caring, trusting relationship with the Erie officers. The police officers has also benefited more than we can imagine from becoming friends with Erie youth. Now, therefore, I, Joseph V. Schember, Mayor of Erie, commend the following. First, back that up a little. First, Patrolman John Buddy Wilson of the Erie Police Department for volunteering a substantial amount of his time away from non-traditional working hours to help assist and wrap both PAL buses and prior to this rollout. Next, Josh McDonald of the Erie Police Department for volunteering weeks of his time designing, printing, and physically wrapping both PAL buses. Mr. McDonald, thank you. If any of you want to say anything, you're welcome to. You'll pass? Okay. Next, Sergeant Curtis Waite of the Erie Police Department for volunteering a substantial amount of his time away from non-traditional working hours to help assist and wrap both PAL buses prior to the rollout. Thank you, Curtis Waite. Renee Lamus, who's the Chief of Staff for the city, for her leadership, motivation, and dedication to help assist with over 400 kids receiving gift bags with very kind notes during the holiday season. Thank you, Renee. Attorney Rondi Nicola for bringing the Police Athletic League back to Erie to provide the opportunity to build meaningful relationships between our officers and the community, especially youth. Ron, would you like to say anything? Yes, you can. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you, members of the department, and Tom and Chief. Thank you very much, and the sheriff. This is something we've all dreamed about. In this day and age, when so many of our families are forced to communicate by electronic devices and computers, and so many other things that draw us apart rather than bring us together, socialization is so important, and the Police Athletic League is a key to socialization between our police officers and our kids. It's one of the most powerful tools that we have to communicate, and it's concrete, and it's every day. And these buses and this opportunity, this facility that we now have, is something that will help the Police Athletic League be everywhere. It means being able to go to the ballpark. It means being able to go to the museum, where a lot of the kids that we service don't have that opportunity. It means being able to go on a road trip and to do things. It means fly fishing. It means all of the things that kids need to have that concrete socialization experience with, above all, the police department. And I just want to recognize the members of our board who are here. Judy Roth is here. I'm not sure who else on our board is here. A number of the officers are here. I want to recognize also Carl Anderson of County Council, who helped us with funding this year, and County Council and the County Administration have been there with us from the very beginning. Thanks to them. And of course, to the tremendous team on the ground here, Tommy Lennox, who I don't know how he does it, but he does it, and he does it so well. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. I don't know how Tom Lennox does it either. It's amazing. Next, we're going to honor AJ Antolik, the Bureau Chief of the Municipal Garage, for approving the buses, providing staff, and Running Point on agreeing to maintain the upkeep on both vehicles for the city. AJ was also involved in the pre-planning phase of obtaining both buses from EMTA. AJ and his staff did extensive body work on both buses in order to keep them on the road for years to come. AJ, would you like to say?
Thank you, Mayor. It's very humbling to be up here in front of everybody and amongst this company. I'd just like to thank the police department for trusting Public Works to service your vehicles and maintain your vehicles and support your operations. And thank you to Tommy Lennox, who I've known for a long time and consider a friend. When you called me about the buses, your enthusiasm for PALS is contagious, as everybody knows here. So at that point, I knew we were going to do whatever we had to do. So I look forward to being a part of the program moving forward, and every inch of the way we can help, Public Works would be glad to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, AJ. We appreciate it. Next, Perry Wood, Executive Director of the Erie County Gaming and Revenue Authority, ECRA, for being a consistent and reliable partner with Erie Police Athletic League since 2015, providing funding for the Erie Police Athletic League program. And the last few years, that really helped us grow. Is Perry here? Okay. Perry could not be with us today, but we do thank him for his work. Next, I'm happy to honor Sheriff John Loomis from the county. I really wish he was running for another term, but I want to thank him for being a great partner in serving Erie youth and our onboarding the Sheriff's Department to make Erie PAL program the only police athletic league in the country to bring together both city and county law enforcement. Sheriff Loomis? Thank you. Thanks for all you do. Next is Jeremy Peterson, the Chief Executive Officer of EMTA, for providing both buses to Erie Police Athletic League because of his belief in that program. Thank you very much. Jerry? Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to EMTA. Promise to keep my comments short because I know Tom will take up the rest of the time. So I'd like to first off thank Mayor Joe Schember, Chief Dan Spizzorni, Sergeant Tom Lennox, and all of the PAL participants for allowing EMTA to be part of this great civic duty. Since its inaugural year in 2015, EMTA has been a proud sponsor and partner of the Police Athletic League. In those 5 years, EMTA has partnered with many public and private entities to provide this much-needed service to our Erie community. Children are often coined as our future, and the PAL is a great mechanism to foster our local youth into bright and upstanding men and women. Since the PAL's resurrection in 5 years, EMTA has been the vehicle that has transported over 2,000 children to numerous venues within the PAL curriculum. Early on, from Piper Burley, McKinley, Lincoln, Jefferson, Deal, East, Strong Vincent, and Wilson schools, to Gannon University, the Boys and Girls Club, Sons of Lake Erie, the Trinity Center, and many, many other locations. Our drivers have expressed over and over again not only how great the program is, but how fun it is to transport them. This program also fits our mission at EMTA by giving and offering safe, reliable, dependable transportation to all of our patrons, whether they have college age, employees 18 to 64, folks 65 and older, and in this case, kids 8 through 18. One of the funniest memories I had of the PAL program was when we were at Gannon University 2 years ago for the ceremony, graduation ceremony. And Sergeant Lennox was going around talking to the kids with a microphone, asking kids what their fondest memory of the program was. And it was about a 95-degree day. My feet were melted into the turf. And one of the kids said, the favorite part of my time was when the bus broke down. I looked at Tom Lennox, and he assured me that it wasn't an EMTA bus, it was another private service that they rented. On a more serious note, a memory that I'll never forget 2 years ago at the same ceremony was at their graduation. There were over 50 donors, sponsors, and volunteers in line to shake each and every one of the 250 graduates' hands. At the conclusion of the ceremony, each child took home a brand new bike. The looks on those kids' faces told me that we will always be part of the PAL program, especially after it continues to grow each and every year. If there was ever a question, and because of that moving moment, we at EMTA will do whatever we could to continue to help sponsor and partner with the PAL. With all this being said, it is my honor to donate 2 lift buses to the PAL program to help transport even more youth to educational destinations around the Erie community all year round. When you see these buses operating around town, you'll be reminded of what it means to live in a community where its police department goes to the extreme to shape our youth. It's very rare that EMTA donates rolling stock assets. However, EMTA and its stakeholders feel that it will help serve a very important need for the community and, more importantly, its future. Thanks once again for everybody, and thank you to the PAL program.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for being part of this incredible project. Everybody in this room has been part of it. We all appreciate your commitment to Erie's youth and your service to our community. The Police Athletic League program continues to expand each year. These buses, these 2 buses you see behind us, will play a vital role in ensuring that our youth will continue to enjoy rich learning experiences. I encourage all residents to help us transform Erie by celebrating the success of the Erie Police Athletic League and supporting our efforts to lift up all of Erie's youth so that they feel valued, loved, and empowered to achieve their full potential. The respect and trust between the officers and our youth will continue to grow and improve the relationships between police and the community. This is due in large part to the commitment of Chief Dan Spizzardi and his command staff. Oh, that reminds me, I have one more person to recognize with a proclamation. Chief Dan Spizzardi, for his constant support, guidance, and recognition of the vital importance of the Erie Police Athletic League program and the relationships built between Erie's youth and Erie police officers. Chief, we would not be anywhere without your dedication and your commitment. Thank you very much. I would now, yes. I would now invite Chief Dan Spizzardi to tell us more about how the police department has grown PAL over the years. And I've also discovered I've got the proclamations here, so I'm going to try to distribute these as Chief gives his presentation.
Thank you, Mayor. More kids, more cops. Each year, the great work of PAL is seen, making more kids and more cops want to join. This is a great sign of something very special growing here in our community. I got a lot more comments here, but after listening to Ron, the mayor, and other speakers, I'm going to pass on this, keep it short. I just want to say many people have come together today to make this happen and continue to grow the program. I applaud them all for their dedication and work. Now, I'd like to introduce the real hardest working, totally dedicated PAL leader there is, who single-handedly could probably lift both of these buses. And Sergeant Tom Lennox, come on up.
Yeah, good morning. Before I even get into reading, because I promised to keep it very short, before I read what I'm about ready to read, I just want to make it very clear that without every individual in this room, it isn't one person doing this. Like, you know, I am so honored to surround myself every day with the officers that I work with on a daily basis. And without these guys on the front line, starting from top to bottom, starting with the mayor's office, the chief of police, Chief John Nolan, Mike Nolan, District Attorney Jack Denieri. There's a lot of moving parts in this. I mean, so without, the vision, without their hard work, and you have to make those decisions from the top down to allow your officers to sacrifice the time at the end of the day to, do what's important, which is to help, be mentors for the youth in our community. None of this would be possible. So everybody in this room that's been a part of this journey for the last 5 years is every bit responsible for where the Police Athletic League is here today. So, for that, I thank you, everybody in here, and wholeheartedly, I love each and everybody in here. So for the short version, I'll keep this very short. I want to thank all police administration, the mayor's office, district attorney's office, the sheriff's department, and last but not least, the PALS officers from every entity, the Boys and Girls Club, and I see John Papa and Heidi Brown are here, and I'll get into that a little bit, and our teachers for stepping it up over the holiday season to make PALS, to make our PAL Kids Christmas a lot more enjoyable. On behalf of the PALS organization, this Christmas, over 300 gift bags were delivered door to door by our officers, our mayor, and our police administration as a result of the coordinated efforts made from the above mentioned organizations. The deliveries were a success, and all kinds of families were grateful and appreciative for not only receiving the gifts, as much as seeing all of the PAL officers after the gift bags were delivered to the kids. The Boys and Girls Club, John Popoff and Heidi Brown, they ran point on this initiative where they had a drive-through gift bag giveaway on the 21st of December, which PAL was a part of that and assisted the Boys and Girls Club. And it was absolutely unbelievable to see everybody come together. The bottom line is over 10,000 gifts were distributed to not only PAL kids, but kids throughout the community in our city, in which there was not one gift left on the table by the end of the night. I mean, it was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. Because at first when we showed up, we were like, how are all these gifts going to be distributed, and how quickly is it going to take? And it was pretty impressive on the efforts of the Boys and Girls Club to put that together. It was extremely special to have the mayor of our city, Mayor Schember, dressed as Santa Claus, Chief Dan Spizzarni and Deputy Chief Mike Nolan assisting and handing out the presents and talking to our families. Again, it was a great event put on by John Popoff and Heidi Brown of the Boys and Girls Club, and I really can't wait to see what next year's Christmas party is going to bring. Although this pandemic has kept all of us apart for the last several months, I am pleased to report that the work behind the scenes has not stopped as it relates to creative ideas with regards to funding and opportunities and planning for 2021. Extremely excited that our PAL buses are finished, and after months of planning and decided what would be appropriate to go on the buses, I think everybody will agree that everything that's on that bus, and I really invite everybody to take a walk around the buses before you leave, because every one of those pictures tells, a personal story with the officers and the kids that were involved, not only at camp at Gannon University, but every day inside of the school system. So just take the time and please look at that. I don't want to stop short. I want to thank EPD officers Josh McDonald, Sergeant Curtis Waite, and John Buddy Wilson, who can't be here, who, when I say they worked tirelessly on these buses for the last couple of months, they did. With that being said, in conclusion, after speaking with our command staff and our PAL staff, it's our intention to slowly and safely get the program up and going again, considering the kids are transitioning back into the school setting. After speaking and coordinate with the Boys and Girls Club, in addition to the now added transportation, we're ready to start with a small rollout over at the club, which is why these buses come at a critical time. Although we lost a month and a half in 2021 with regards to getting the staff and kids together, 2001 is definitely going to be a huge year for Powell once we get going. And, and on a positive note, and I think it's only fitting that we end this with the words of a Powell kid. Before I introduce this young lady, she was there, quick story from day one. Met this young lady at McKinley Elementary, and in my opinion, she is going to be what epitomizes, once she graduates high school, of what it's going to be to say that she was a Powell kid. And I know that her career in law enforcement is definitely going to be, hopefully, one of her career paths once she graduates. So I want her to come up and say a few words. Lisa Fagoria, please give this young lady a hand.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. I just want to say thank you to the PALS community and the Erie Police Department for making PALS something that I can be a part of. I'm thankful because it honestly changed my life, and it is something that I am honored to be a part of, to be able to have so many amazing people around me with such an amazing heart, and to be able to say that they're my friends and that I know them, and to be able to know the students and the teachers and the schools. I'm thankful that I have been in this community and to grow up around them and to be able to call them my friends and family. So thank you, Officer Tom, and all the police department and sheriff department and all the schools and students that are part of PALS.
Thanks, Lisa. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom, and Chief, thank you as well. And thanks to all the police officers in the room here for the incredible work you are doing. I don't believe there's work like this going on in any other city that compares with what you guys are doing here to transform this city. This summer brought back some challenges because of COVID-19, but we did take a creative approach. Several times last summer, we took a large group of police officers, firefighters, police athletic league officers, district attorney's office. Jack Denieri was with us. A lot of the mayor's staff, a Bonnell ice cream truck is what we used, and members of the Strengthening Police Community Partnership Council. And we drove honking through the city, mainly on the Lower East and West Side. And then we stepped into parks and playgrounds, opened up the fire hydrants on hot days, and distributed mass information on the census, gave away prizes, and handed out free ice cream cones. I always ate at least one. I'm very impressed with what I have seen and learned about the relationships that have been formed between these kids and our police officers. I would like to thank Sergeant Tom Lennox for his leadership and dedication. And Tom, I can't believe we don't have a proclamation for you today, but there's not one here, but we're going to get you one. And I really, again, thank every police officer that's here for your dedication and the work that you are doing. This is already having a positive effect on our community, and it will continue to grow over time. It's going to transform our community. The Erie Police Athletic League is a long-term positive relationship building effort. We are confident that the youth and their parents, which is one of the interesting things I learned when I went around delivering the Christmas presents. It's not just the youth, but the parents are developing better respect for our police and better relationships with our police. And this generation, as they grow up, there's been nothing like that in Erie yet. We must ensure that we are providing support and bringing all resources to the table to help our community's youth find their career pathways so they can lead successful and productive lives as valuable members of our community, every person. We still have challenges ahead of us, no question about that. There are challenges that everyone in this room or watching on TV or listening to this realizes. But the Police Athletic League will build a brighter future for everyone. The Police Athletic League provides the opportunities to transform lives in Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie students and their families I encourage every Erie resident to get involved with the Police Athletic League. It will help us build opportunity, restore hope, and transform Erie. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here with us, and everyone who spoke is now available to the media for interviews. And even people that didn't speak, you can talk to anybody here. Thanks very much, everybody.